Hello and welcome back to 2K14 Universe. I am your host here, and you're watching NXT.
The following triple threat contest is an elimination match. Making her way to the ring from Miami, Florida, Layla.
So we're kicking things off here tonight with a #1 contenders triple threat. Last week, Layla teamed up with the women's champion AJ Lee, and they defeated Summer Rae and Natalya. Natalya holds a victory over AJ Lee, and of course Summer Rae is a former NXT Women's Champion, but Layla right now is a very hot commodity. She is the top contender for the NXT Women's Championship, and she hasn't had a title opportunity in an extremely long time. Now, she got to raise the arm of AJ Lee last week. They got to celebrate together and all that. That's good. That's great. That's nice. But the thing is, it's not about friendship here in NXT. It's all about the NXT Women's Championship. And that is exactly what I think Layla has her sights set on more than anything else. And the question is, when it comes down to it, can she beat Natalya and Summer Rae in this triple threat to kick off NXT? The winner will main event next week, facing AJ for the title. Well, here comes Natalya, who, as I mentioned before, she has a recent victory over AJ Lee, and, well, she's always been a very successful women's competitor, whether you like Natalya or not. She is very gifted in the ring, and she is a former Divas champion, a former women's champion. I said this before, if she wins the NXT Women's Championship, she'll be the first, and I think she's currently one of the only that is able to actually hold both championships. We now have confirmed that, obviously, Lita says she passed the torch on to AJ Lee. She has stepped down, so she's not there anymore to do that. I believe it really is just Natalya. I think she's the only one to historically have held all three if she wins the NXT Women's title.
From Raleigh, North Carolina, Summer Rae.
But of course, here comes the first ever NXT Women's Champion, the final Divas Champion, and a personal favorite of mine, Sam. That doesn't really work. I miss Fandango. Where is he? I hope he's on SmackDown this week. I really want to see Fandango again. It's been too long, guys. It's been too long. Well, next we have a 6-man battle royal. We find out who's going to be joining the Royal Rumble matchup from NXT. 6 very hungry contenders looking to leave NXT potentially if they win the Royal Rumble match. Obviously, if they don't, they won't leave NXT. So, I love WWE, says that one fan. One of the toughest EYSs out there. So here we go, triple threat matchup. Obviously that means no disqualifications, no countouts, falls count anywhere. Elimination style so that we can make sure there is one clear, concise winner. None of that complicated nonsense. Here we go. There's press straight away from Summer Rae to Natalya. Last week they were tag team partners. I hear shortly after losing the main event last week, they were seen backstage blaming each other for their loss. There was a huge dispute between those two over whose fault it was, and Summer Rae, actually, I believe she's trying to play like a mind game with Natalya with the pink and black attire here tonight. Obviously, Natalya, a graduate of the Heart Dungeon. Was she even a graduate? Didn't she just train in the Heart Dungeon? I don't remember. I feel like the WWE have disrespected Natalya for so long that I don't remember anything about her other than that she is like actually a really good in-ring competitor that like they just don't know what to do with, and they haven't for. She's like such a long-running veteran too. I want to be completely real, guys. I know a lot of people say she's like boring and this and that. And okay, maybe she's not exactly charismatic, no, but like she's great in the ring, and sometimes that can be enough. That's why they need like a women's mid-card title, I think. Obviously, she has won the championship a couple times. I'm not saying that like she's completely buried. It's just I feel like she's gotten almost like the R-Truth treatment, you know? Like they've just slept on her for too long, and she's like a long-running veteran. Like I mean, she probably helps train a lot of the newcomers and stuff. I'm not saying that they don't appreciate her behind the scenes. They probably do. It's just I don't know. I don't think she's that bad, is all I'm saying. She's been around for like, what, 15 years? I think she's still going. A lot of women's runs don't generally last that long. The WWE I've noticed. So it's nice to see. I just wish she was treated a little better. sometimes. I mean, obviously she can't be the top, and truth be told, they have a very stacked roster when it comes to their champions. Double teaming Natalya, Summer Rae, and Layla working together.
Natalya countering nicely there. Oh, my motto would be love my neighbor if I lived next door to her.
Talking about modern WWE, the only thing I hate, right? I think they have mostly enough championships. I think rather than women's tag titles, I think they need a women's lower ranked title. I don't really think they care enough about the tag titles. I like them. I think they're good in concept, and I think they could be used a lot better to get women that aren't being used more TV time and something to fight for. But I think like a lower ranked title would be so much better, because it's silly that you've only got like one big championship on both brands in the fight. Even if like the lower ranked title is like available on both brands. You know, if there was like, I mean, I think there was Raquel, I think it was saying she wanted an Intercontinental title for the women. Like, if they'd done that, that'd be good, you know. Because truth be told, I mean, I've said this before, like, and I don't mean any disrespect when I say this to the, oh, wow, okay, to like the big fans of them or anything, but like people like when Lana was under contract, for example, or like, when they split up the Iconics and they were trying to push Peyton Royce, but you know, they've got people like Bianca Belair and Charlotte and Becky and Bayley and Rhea, you know, Asuka, the list goes on and on and on. They got a lot of great top champions. They need something for the ones that aren't really on the set, like Liv Morgan. Well, that's almost it. This is going to piss a lot of people off, but I don't feel like Liv Morgan should be hanging with the top women. As an example, it always looks really out of place when they do it now. They need something lower for them to fight for. That's all I'm saying. It's not a bad thing. It just gives them something to compete for. I know there's obviously a lot of too many championships. That's why I say the tag titles aren't as important if they had to make a choice. But I got off track here. All I was going to say was I hate how all reigns these days, like there's like at least like 3 reigns going where the champion just does nothing, but they have the belt for really long, and that blows. Like ever since Logan Paul won the US title, there is just no men's championships on SmackDown. The tag titles are primarily on Raw. Roman is never around. Logan is never around. Like what is there to fight for on SmackDown? I don't like this new format they do where they have champions that like just never defend. I love Io. I got goosebumps when Io won the Women's Championship, but I feel like they've really dropped the ball on that reign. That's been very lackluster as another example. They just do those reigns all the time. They give people the championship and then they're like, I don't know. That's it. I don't know. I don't want them to defend it on TV. Sorry, I don't think anyone really cared for that ramble. I'm sorry for sharing that. Cover attempt here. Almost. Look, I think Gunther's had a great Intercontinental title reign. A little long, but obviously he was trying to break a record. I get that. That's what it'll be it. Yeah, there you go. Summer Rae getting a rematch against AJ Lee next week, and I'd brace yourself, AJ, because it could be heartbreak all over again in the main event of NXT next week. I think a long reign like Gunther's by the way, just to finish this up, I feel like a long reign like Gunther's every now and then is a good thing. His has been great, but I hope the next person that wins it doesn't also hold it for like over a year, because I think title reigns are too long these days and not enough happens with them to make them interesting. This is coming from a guy as a universe where everyone holds the title for like a week, but listen, mine's not good either. I think you need a middle ground. Anyway, Summer Rae victorious in this opening matchup as she gets a women's championship opportunity next week. It'll be her and AJ once again. And I'm really sorry for going on that tangent. I hope that someone out there found that. Never mind. Let's just move on. Well, remember, this is a battle royal to determine who will be in the Royal Rumble from NXT.
Six-man contest is an over-the-top rope battle royal. way to the ring. From Cape Town, South Africa, weighing 213 pounds, Justin Gabriel.
Well, Justin Gabriel is the first hopeful here tonight in this 6-man over-the-top rope battle royal. Unlike the ones on Raw and SmackDown, where it's kind of a preview / revealing participants, only one man from this battle royal will be in the Royal Rumble match, as far as I know. I'm not super sure of that, but I'm pretty sure. And let me quickly, I have the Royal Rumble participant list real quick. Let me just make sure I'm not talking trash here.
And approaching the ring from Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yes, okay. I did actually.
132 pounds, Ric Flair.
My initial lineup of who I have scheduled for the Royal Rumble match doesn't even have an NXT guy in it. So, yeah. This is obviously a huge opportunity for 6 superstars here on NXT. As I mentioned before, obviously this is a little bit brutal because this is technically this month's, or this event's like EYS. Rather than there being a Raw or SmackDown superstar facing like a top ranking superstar in NXT who's looking to leave NXT, this is a Royal Rumble match qualifier where if they win the Rumble, they're off of NXT.
Atlantic City, New Jersey, weighing 444 pounds, King Kong Bundy.
But you got to look at it more this way. This is a huge opportunity for one of these 6 men to get a spot on a highly celebrated matchup, the main event of the Royal Rumble match itself. One of the 6 men in this battle royal will join the Royal Rumble matchup, and whoever it is, they could make a huge impression or a huge comeback. Am I right, Rey Mysterio? And also Justin Gabriel. Gabriel is also someone that is looking to make a comeback. Rey Mysterio finally picked up a victory on NXT a couple weeks back. He defeated David Otunga.
Weighing 175 pounds,
He says he's got a new game plan. He's going to try things from a different perspective, and he's going to hope for the best. Man, I hope he's on to something, because last week he was humiliated by Ted DiBiase with having a $1 bill shoved in his mouth, following a loss to a guy that has practically never really won a match, and that is harsh. You know, I hear when they were saying that there was going to be the potential to qualify for the Royal Rumble match, this man was at the front of the line, the most keen he has been to compete on NXT so far. JBL said, I will do whatever it takes. He came with a briefcase full of money and said, look, give me a spot in that battle royal. I can do it. I think we all know that JBL realizes that the Royal Rumble match could be his ticket out of here, and he's willing to do whatever it takes to leave NXT immediately. Well, maybe he'll get to, but here comes the final participant in this battle royal. We'll find out. Ooh. We'll find out who will be joining the Royal Rumble matchup.
and their opponent, representing the Terrors, weighing 360 pounds, one half of the NXT Tag Team Champions, Tensai.
Well, this is definitely an interesting entrant here. Tensai, newly joined the Snake Pit, now in possession of the NXT Tag Team Championship. And we have been told that basically the way this would work is if someone who is holding a championship on NXT was to go to Raw or SmackDown whilst in possession of the championship, they can compete on both brands until their championship reign comes to an end, of course. So here we go. 6-man over the top rope battle royal. Winner gets a spot in the 2013 Royal Rumble matchup. I want to say some of these superstars in this ring, Rey Mysterio, Justin Gabriel, JBL, maybe even Tensai, are familiar with the Royal Rumble matchup. I don't know who's been in the Royal Rumble at this point. I'm pretty sure there is a Royal Rumble match entry on the wiki that I think has like a breakdown of everyone that's ever competed in the Royal Rumble, as well as a few other statistics. But I haven't looked back at that in quite some time, so I don't know how up to date that is, how much info it actually has. I could try pulling that up right now, but I feel like this match could end very quickly because over the top rope battle royals run the chance of ending very quickly. And of course, it's no surprise to see King Kong Bundy focusing on Tensai here. Him and DiBiase have been in pursuit of those tag titles for a while. And that is exactly what I feel like he thinks throwing Tensai out is going to do for him. JBL going straight for Rey Mysterio. That definitely feels like someone JBL would decide he has a problem with. For one reason or another. Probably hate him because he's too short. JBL hates everybody. Gabriel and Flair fighting on the side there. Of course, not really a lot of history amongst any of the superstars in this battle royal. This is more what it's for these guys. And that is a big opportunity to potentially leave NXT.
This is about skill and power.
Ric Flair says time out. I wonder who will be the first one eliminated from the battle royal. That's always an interesting one, is to find out who will be the first thrown out of a battle royal. For the record, of course, we still have one more battle royal coming your way this Friday on SmackDown, as well as, of course, an Intercontinental Championship match. Andre the Giant against Wade Barrett. We're also going to get some great matches on SmackDown, such as Darren Young against Damian Sandow, John Cena facing off against what could have been the Big Show, who is no longer the World Heavyweight Champion. Cena and Big Show go one-on-one. Unfortunate for Big Show. Oh, out of the ring goes Justin Gabriel, but it could be a good chance for Show to get some momentum back and maybe line up, you know, to be a future World Heavyweight Champion. And we've also got the main event after his involvement in last week's main event, which failed. Oh, there goes JBL. Well, he is going to be pissed. He is going to be furious. You can tell. That was his ticket out of here as far as he was concerned. He was going to win this Battle Royal and then definitely win the Royal Rumble, and Rey just took that away from him. I would definitely watch my back if I was Rey Mysterio right now. But yes, after trying to get involved in the main event and actually help Big Show win the World Heavyweight Championship, or retain, he failed, and there goes Tensai. And Mark Henry will now get one-on-one with the Great Khali, non-title. But it will be the Great Khali and Mark Henry main eventing this week's SmackDown, as Henry looks to get some comeuppance on the seemingly out of nowhere untouchable Great Khali, who is now the World Heavyweight Champion. That's right, guys. Khali is really the World Heavyweight Champion. That is something we are going to witness. Why did it come with an X there? Guys, I promise you I am not. Actually, you'd know if I was playing. You'd see way more prompts than that, and you'd hear me like mashing the buttons and stuff. So you guys know I'm not playing this. I don't even know why I try to convince you. Well, Bundy, Ric Flair, and Rey Mysterio, all hopeful to claim a spot in the Royal Rumble. There'll be one of the only, as far as we know, NXT representatives. There is room, apparently, for that to change, and there goes Rey. There could be someone else given that opportunity, depending on if there's room and how NXT management feels about who could represent the brand best. But, well, truth be told, as it currently stands, it's either Bundy or Ric Flair that are right now guaranteed a spot in the Royal Rumble matchup. Bundy is going crazy in there. Just throw him out already with Bundy. He's clearly going to win. I mean, this guy's completely in control. Throws Bundy into the corner. Ric Flair looking exhausted. Oh, never mind. Ric Flair with a clothesline. And Ric Flair is headed to the Royal Rumble, everybody. Congratulations to Ric Flair. Woo, indeed. So Ric Flair joins the 2013 Royal Rumble, everybody. Congratulations to that guy right there, Ric Flair, on a huge victory. He will join his first Royal Rumble match in this universe this Sunday. 29 other men, and he could be off of NXT. The odds aren't in his favor, but he can definitely make a huge impression and turn his momentum around at long last. Congratulations, Ric Flair, on this victory as we move towards our main event tonight. The unhinged Jake Roberts looks to dethrone Big E Langston for the NXT Championship in an Extreme Rules match next.
The following contest is an Extreme Rules Falls Count Anywhere match and is for the NXT Championship. Making his way to the ring from Tampa, Florida, weighing 302 pounds, he is the NXT Champion, Big E Langston.
Well, he is one of NXT's biggest winners. He is a dominant superstar, and he only suffered his 3rd loss since the beginning of NXT and since this guy debuted. Big E Langston prepares tonight to face off against the man that defeated him 2 weeks ago on NXT in the main event, Jake Roberts. Or maybe it was last week, I don't remember. But Jake Roberts, he got that revenge. He actually beat Big E Langston without someone getting involved, and he says he's going to ensure that happens again here tonight. No Wolf, no Tensai, just a straight up extreme fight between Big E Langston and Jake Roberts. Is Roberts about to finally capture his first singles championship and end the reign of Big E?
Representing the Terrors from Stone Mountain, Georgia, weighing 249 pounds, Jake the Snake Roberts.
I gotta admit, when Andre the Giant left NXT, I thought, who is gonna step up? Who is gonna be the one to really threaten Big E Langston's NXT Championship reign? And Jake Roberts, he is, I've said this before, he is transformed since coming here to NXT. We have witnessed a very, very, very different man right there. Look at those eyes. That is a deranged individual. I don't know what goes on in that head. I don't think anyone wants to be in there, though. Jake Roberts is... well, he's a threat to Big E Langston, more than just his championship reign. Agreeing to an Extreme Rules match with Jake Roberts, I feel like that's a match that's got a lot of consequences behind it. I just hope Big E Langston knows what he's doing. This ought to be an interesting main event here tonight. The 3rd time these two have met in the main event of NXT. Well, here we go. Big E Langston, Jake Roberts. Start button loves picking up multiple inputs there. And Big E takes the control to start things off. Remember, Extreme Rules, Falls Count Anywhere. Jake Roberts swears that there will be no involvement from either of his henchmen, his disciples. And they're not here at ringside. Big E Langston's got to take that at face value, but of course, let me remind you that if Wolf or Tensai decide to get involved in this match, there are no disqualifications in this main event here tonight, which means that this could very easily backfire on Big E Langston. He's got no backup here on NXT. Jake Roberts, he's got disciples, as he calls them. Takes down Big E Langston. Jake Roberts not only beat Big E Langston recently in the main event of NXT, he made it look easy. That's the thing that shocked me the most there.
Championship on the line.
That body drop. Down goes Jake Roberts. Big E Langston. Oh, caught there into a big right hand. And down he goes. The back and forth contest between these two to start things off is to be expected. We've got a lot of championship matches this week. I mean, we had Randy Savage against Bryce Walker for the European title on Raw. We've got this match here tonight, and this Friday on SmackDown, Andre the Giant defends his Intercontinental Championship for what I think is the first time on an episode of SmackDown. Faces off against Wade Barrett, who has been getting some insane momentum since leaving here on NXT. Time there, and Big E takes control as he's, oh god, gouging the eye of Jake Roberts. Look, he is willing to stoop to that same level for for the sake of the NXT Championship, and that's what you've got to do when you're in the ring with Jake Roberts. I'm glad that Big E Langston has quickly realized that. You can't play nicey-nicey. You can't go light on this guy. You need to bring out whatever dark, brutal side of you that you may have dwelling deep beneath. That is what Big E Langston needs to do. That's what anyone needs to do when they agree to step foot in the ring with Jake Roberts. Let alone an Extreme Rules match, though. This match could end up being just a standard one-on-one match. I mean, we may not see the Extreme Rules stipulation actually come into play here. I mean, I'd prefer if we did, but we might not. Big E going for a big shoulder tackle there, but Jake Roberts got out of the way. And now Roberts, great move there. Seems to be able to turn any situation into his favor. Really back and forth style matchup here. Big E Langston. Looks like he said, no, that's it. I'm going for it. And what is he going to get here? Big E Langston with a cane. And Jake Roberts. Jake Roberts wisely using the referee to his advantage, but Big E Langston still catches him. And he has made Jake Roberts see his own blood. And I mentioned this before, I don't think Jake Roberts is your ordinary man. I think when he starts to bleed, he gets more dangerous. What are they chanting? I don't know what they're chanting. Big right hand across the face of Langston. I want to remind you, because I can't stress how important that is, the reason Jake Roberts has this title opportunity here tonight is because he became the second guy to ever beat Big E Langston. Big E Langston has only ever suffered 2 losses before he's won to Roberts a couple of weeks ago, and they were both at the hands of Andre the Giant, one of the most unbeatable guys NXT has ever witnessed. And that's what makes me think, is Jake Roberts the next champion? Because he did what no one else has been able to do. He actually has a victory over Langston. I mentioned this many times before. I feel like as soon as Langston drops that NXT Championship, the sky's the limit. Like, where'd that cane go? Where did that cane go? Go for attempt. Just the 1 count. And this is getting very personal out here in front of these fans. I know this is like the definition of a pet peeve, but it really bugs me how the crowd sounds in this small arena. I think they fixed that in 15. I think you get like actual like small crowd sounds. I think like, you know, they changed that up so that when you're in the NXT arena, it's like, well, it sounds like there's less fans, as it should do. I like that environment for NXT. I think that really helps set it apart. It really would make when they stepped up feel bigger. I mean, sometimes it does. Like, when I know I've already seen, like, the primetime players in, like, the real world in front of a big crowd, and obviously in games in the past. There's something about seeing them in front of, like, the SmackDown crowd when they first moved up that actually felt really, like, crazy. Like, I felt like they'd been here in NXT for so long, and, like, actually going in front of a big crowd actually did feel different. That was really weird. I don't know, I've never experienced that in a game before. But I've never really done NXT like this before. I just treat it as a third brand. But, I mean, it still is a third brand. It's just, it's a developmental brand. Whereas before it was, well, not even necessarily developmental, because I guess it is developmental, actually. I was about to say, because it has people that were on Raw and SmackDown, but they can need to go back and develop more. Yes, that is possible. Just ask Nia Jax. Cover attempt here by Big E Langston on Jake Roberts. Back into the ring, Roberts goes. An elbow across the chest of Jake Roberts. Big E Langston taking back control here. Remember, he made Jake Roberts bleed a while back. And that has not slowed Roberts down at all. Where is Langston going? Oh!
With this type of brute strength and vicious mean streak, Langston is one of the most feared men in WWE.
Well, Jake Roberts looking a little hot here, and Big E saying enough is enough. He's tearing that table down. What is he planning here? Well, it may not matter because Roberts with a sledgehammer. Hopefully that didn't come into play.
And did you hear the impact on that kick? And this seesaw
And a
battle
big shoulder
seems to
tackle
end.
by Big E Langston. He likes doing those.
With the championship at stake, you know these
And
superstars
once again,
will
taking
do
Roberts into the ring.
everything they have
Big
to
E seems
win
like he
here
doesn't really know what he wants to do to Roberts at this point. I mean, he hasn't really tried for pins.
There's no DQ back to
There
this.
feels like there's something personal between these two in this match.
Oh, wait, nice reverse. Big E is poised to
Oh boy, Big E Langston scooping up Roberts out of nowhere. Big ending. There it is. That's got to be it. That's got to be it. Big E is still your NXT champion. Tough loss, Jake Roberts. Bouncing. Oh no. Ah yes, his buddies from the Shield. There they are. Big E Langston has joined the Shield, folks.